I had no idea who the wizard Liz was until a couple of days ago, and I don't know how I didn't know who she was. She has like over 7 million followers. But anyway, I'm sure you've heard by now about the cheating scandal, and even though I have a cold, I had to come on here to talk about it because I think there's a very important lesson. Here's the lesson that I want you to take away from this situation. And that is that if you are going to get pregnant by a man, make sure that you have provisions in place to protect yourself and your future child. Now, Liz herself will probably be fine, she's got a huge social media presence. I hope that she can turn this into something that will make her even more successful and good for her. But most women are not like her. They're not in that super privileged position. And so you have to be really careful and really strategic almost when we're talking about who you're going to be in a relationship with and under what circumstances you're going to have children. I've talked about this before, and I just did a long form video on YouTube about ways that you can protect yourself before you get married and before you have children. And specifically, this is why I tell you not to procreate with men who don't have money, because while theoretically it's nice to think that it doesn't matter if he doesn't have money because he might be a great husband and father and he might show up in lots of other ways. Unfortunately, the risk you run there is that he's not going to show up in any of those ways. And what sort of insurance policy do you have then? And unfortunately, too often they don't. That is the real risk, that, you get pregnant and then suddenly he starts treating you like crap, or he's cheating on you, or he just up and leaves you. I've seen it happen way too often, and then the woman is left with the baby. So the only way to protect yourself, in my opinion, is cold, hard cash. You want money and assets in your name. That's also why I advocate getting married first, because it is a legal and financial contract. Because then, of course, you can hope for the best, and you want him to be a good husband and a good father, because, of course, we all do. But you can't control what he's going to do. So, worst case scenario, at least you have money to provide for yourself and your children. Because I don't think that any woman should be gambling her life and the lives of her future children on a hope and a prayer that this guy's going to be a good guy, he's going to do the right thing. Because so many of my clients thought that they had a good guy who would do the right thing. Meanwhile, he had a whole other family overseas, oops. So I think the safest way forward is to just assume that these things could happen to you, okay? Because they can happen to anybody. And only have children in circumstances where you think, okay, if this does happen to me, if he's cheating on me, or if he just walks out one day to, buy diapers and never comes home again, that has happened anyway. What am I going to do then? Am I going to be all right? And if the answer is no, I wouldn't be all right, then you do not have children with that man. I don't care how good you think he is. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. And that's all I have to say about that now. I'm gonna go have some soup.